Episode 1 of Ninja Kamui opens with a tease of the action to come. A man who obviously knows what's in store for him breaks off of a train to run down an alleyway. When faced with his foes shrouded in fog, he fights for his life. There's no other way to say it. This man is put down like a dog by the head boss man and, after being identified, is left beheaded for the street cats to feast on. We are then introduced to our main character and his family. We have a few more scenes that show there's a connection between our main character and the street cat food from earlier, but there is clear concern from his wife that they feel they may be found and hunted down in similar fashion. Logan shrugs this off to put his wife at ease, and we transition to one of those overdone montages that show that this is a close family unit that really cares for each other. Typically, I find these cheesy as all hell, but one moment really stuck out to me. His son drops and breaks a dish, and while he's sulking in the bathtub, Logan jumps in with him, wearing goggles, acting silly, and making goofy faces to cheer him up. I don't typically get baited by these montages, and judge me if you'd like, but after seeing this scene, I immediately understood this is a caring father that's going to be forced back into a violence arc, reminiscent of The Punisher. I don't know, something about this small action showed such kindness and the capability for empathy within this character. As night falls, we get our first bout of bad luck for Logan. After laying restless in bed, he goes downstairs only to immediately realize something is wrong and gets ambushed by intruders. He fights well, but after being distracted by his son's pleas for help, he gets shot in the neck by some poison darts. As he reaches the top of the stairs, his adrenaline coursing through his veins. His eyes widen as he sets eyes on his wife's desperate attempts to save their son, but unfortunately has fallen short. All he can do is stand motionless as his family is bathed in a flickering blue light. Boss Man thrusts his sword one last time into his wife's neck. The heaviness of the moment sinks in, and as rage builds, Logan is cut down. Laying in a pool of blood, all he can do is try to take in the last sights of his family, and how he failed them. But fate has other plans. After being presumed dead, Logan wakes up in the morgue. I had assumed this was due to poison being on the throat darts, slowing his heart rate to an imperceivable level, but I'm sure there'll be some other ninja stuff that explains this in a better way later on. This is where we meet Detective Mike Morris and his partner. Detective Mike Morris, a jaded cop nearing retirement, seems genuinely annoyed that this man's miraculous recovery after being pronounced dead has had the audacity of burdening him this close to retirement. Morris embodies every cliché of the gruff, seen-it-all detective, complete with painfully obvious deductions. Let's hope he develops some depth as the series progresses. Morris and his partner decide to stay with Logan overnight, just in case the people who attacked him come back to kill Logan for good. His partner, who thinks she's in for a relaxing night of staring at the stars on the hospital roof, bears witness to Logan's transformation from loving father to black smoke-breathing, white-eyed beast that effortlessly slaughters a whole crew of ninjas. I want to take a second to just say how amazing the fight scenes in this show are. I mean, honestly, these fights are beautiful. We get a small break in the slaughter to have Detective Obvious enter the scene just to gasp and say, "Holy crap, what the hell?" as he stares at a hallway full of blood and gore. Well, I don't know, officer. Maybe the guy seeping pure revenge and vengeance from the hospital bed earlier got jumped again by the people that killed his family. Just a hunch. Logan finally makes his way through all of the side characters to get to a brief boss battle-esque fight, which culminates between Logan and the man he witnessed murder his wife only hours earlier. With wrath pouring from Logan, the fight is over quickly but quite spectacularly. Logan takes his revenge, and this is where we learn that the blue light from earlier was actually a disguiser masking Logan's true identity. In the final scenes of this episode, Logan goes back to his home, and in a John Wick style smashes out his hope-to-be-forgotten assassin's gear and burns his old life down, severing any ties to the kindness and humanity he fought so hard to preserve. He says his final goodbye and dons his old gear, paralleling his intent to embody the violence he once laid to rest. One change I would have loved to see, though, was instead of him returning to his original assassin's mask, he decided to wear the Oni mask his son had been playing in earlier, hiding behind a literal representation of his grief and anguish as he acts out his vengeance. Maybe I'm missing the significance his old mask plays, but I would have loved to see him rethink his decision while going to put his old mask on, only to throw it away and save his son's mask from the fire and wear that instead. Thank you for watching. If you've seen the first episode of Ninja Kamui, Leave a comment on how you're liking the series so far. Or consider subbing, for the engagement